So before moving to the next example related to case number 5, where case number 5 contains the RHS as x into v of x. So how it is to be treated as x is linear, v of x is either sine ax or cos ax and not e to the power ax, because otherwise it will be reducible to case number 4. So in such case wherein in the RHS we have x multiplied by v of x, where v of x will be sin ax or cos ax, it is resolved as x into 1 upon f of d into v of x minus f dash of d upon f of d whole square to be operated on v of x. That is how the rule says, and that is how we will be trying to find out the answer for that. But this generalized rule for integration by parts will surely help us, wherein we are solving the question by integration by parts, and inside the solution again we are coming across with the product of the two terms whose integration is to be calculated. So generalized rule for integration by parts is applicable except the logarithmic and exponential term, because integration of exponential term is endless. Derivative of the logarithmic term is also endless, because integration of e to the power x is e to the power x. Again integration of e to the power x is e to the power x. Again integration of e to the power x is e to the power x, right? So it is not applicable to that case. Also it is not applicable to the logarithmic term. Why? Because in logarithmic term also the derivatives always appear. Derivative of log x is 1 by x. Derivative of 1 by x is minus 1 upon x square. Derivative of minus 1 upon x square is 2 upon x cube, and so on. Why I am saying so? Because while applying the Liet rule, logarithmic will become the first term and exponential will become the second. And integration by parts tells us that integration to be done for the exponential term. As per the Liet rule, exponential will always be last and logarithmic will always be first. So derivative of the logarithmic term is also endless, and integration of exponential term is also endless. So therefore we say that this generalized rule of integration by parts is applicable except logarithmic and exponential term. Yes, if we have the algebraic term in calculation with this, then it is justified, because derivatives of algebraic terms vanish after certain steps. How? Derivative of x square will be 2x, then derivative of 2x will be 2, and then derivative of 2 will be 0. So after that particular step there is no need to write down the expansion for the given term, and hence when algebraic term is there in the calculation with among these, then this integration generalized rule for integration by parts can be applicable. So what does this integration by parts says? Integral u into v dx is equal to u into integration of v, alternate plus minus, so we have minus derivative of the first, and one more time integration of whatever term we have written over here. Now double integration of v means single time integration of integral v. Here we will be already taking down the integration for v, so just integrating it one more time will give you the value. Alternate plus minus के बाद here it becomes plus u double dash. Take the derivative of this term. U dash का derivative will give you u double dash. Twice we have already obtained the integration. Just integrate it once to get 3 times integration, and that is how the interpretation for generalized rule of integration by parts is. So note down the next example wherein it says d3y by dx cube minus 3d2y by dx square plus 3dy by dx minus y is equal to e to the power x plus x into e to the power x. Now if you look at them in first sight, this can be a separate term, this can be a separate term. This can be solvable by case number 1. This is solvable by which case? X into e to the power x. Case
4.
4. Why? Because in the product, when we have one of the term as exponential along with v of x, where v of x is sin ax, cos ax, or x to the power n, we identified case number 4. But if you do the simplification, that is by taking out e to the power x common, it is reducible to only one case, that is case number 4 or case number 5.
4.
5.
केस नंबर 4. Why? Because product में क्या है? One of the term is exponential, other term is polynomial. So is it case number 4 or case number 5?
4.
4.
केस नंबर 5 कब रहेगा? When you have x into sin x, x into cos x, x into cos root 3x, because x must be linear and v of x should be either sine or cosine. But in the product, if you have exponential term with any of the common or with any of the quantity which we have dealt with earlier, then it will be simply case number 4. Is this point clear?
Yes, sir.
So ये समझ में आया which case is applicable over here, case number 4 or case number 5? Instead of applying two separate terms, case number 1 and case number 4, I will be taking out common if possible, and then you try to simplify. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So without having any confusion, just you go ahead. So can you simplify this? Obtain the complementary function by the LHS of the given differential equation. Obtain the particular integral from the given RHS of the differential equation. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So kindly note down the question. So mention here the hint or clue that take common if possible. So accordingly you can simplify and get the answer. Right? Finished up to this? Noted down up to this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now note down case number 6. Let q of x is equal to x to the power m into v of x, where m will start from 2, 3. Because if m is 1, it is reducible to which case? Case number 5. Because the condition is x must be linear. X is linear means x to the power 1. And therefore there won't be any point. Because here v of x is also like sin ax or cos ax. So here value of m starts from 2, 3 and so on. Then only we call it as or identify it as case number 6. So x to the power m into v of x, where v of x is sin ax or cos ax, m starts from 2, 3 and so on. If v of x is cos ax, I will have to express it into the exponential form. By the theory of complex number, you just remember that e to the power aix is written as cos ax plus I sin ax. And you know that complex number is a combination of real part and imaginary part. So cos ax is the real part, sin ax is the imaginary part, and therefore e to the power aix is cos ax plus I sin ax. So whenever I will have x to the power m into cos ax, so it will be real part of e to the power aix. So that will be written as real part of 1 upon f of d multiplied by x to the power m into e to the power aix. Now, whenever you have exponential term as one of the term in the product, which case is applicable? Case number 4. And then whatever is the answer, we take the real part from that. So from the theory of complex number, wherein we have a plus ib as the notation for the complex number, the term associated with I is called as imaginary, and the term associated or free from I, not associated with I, is called as or termed as real. So here cos ax is real part, I sin ax is imaginary part. For writing down cos ax, you take real part of e to the power aix. Clear? Operate x to the power m into e to the power aix by case number 4 and take only the answer which is real part. Now, how you identify the real part and imaginary part? The part which is free from I will be called as real part. The part which is associated with I, or the term which is associated with I, will be called as imaginary part. The theory of complex number tells us the formula: e to the power aix is cos ax plus I sin ax, right? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
What will be e to the power ix? Cos x plus I sin x. Value of a is 1. So it will be e to the power ix is equal to cos x plus I sin x. E to the power 2ix. What will be e to the power 2ix? Cos 2x plus I sin 2x. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is how the simplification will go, right? Is this part over? So in the product, when one of the term is exponential, case number 4 is applicable. And from the answer, only we are interested in real part, because cos is the real part of the exponential term. Sin is the imaginary part of, right? So v of x is equal to sin ax. Then pi is equal to 1 upon f of d to be operated on x to the power m into sin ax is equal to 1 upon f of d into x to the power m, imaginary part of e to the power aix. Imaginary part of this, case number 4 is applicable. So here very less chances or rare chances of getting example on this case. Only you keep in mind the simplification. Examples करना कोई इतना important नहीं है. So operate x to the power m into e to the power aix on 1 upon f of d by case number 4, and then take imaginary part of that to get the required pi. So imaginary part means the term which will be associated with I के साथ जो भी multiplied रहेगा, that will be taken into consideration. Clear?
Sir, please scroll up.
Completed up to this? Finish writing, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now can anybody tell me that if your RHS is of the form this, e to the power 5x, which case is applicable?
First case.
First case.
First case. What is the replacement in case 1? How it is to be done? What
F
is
of D
the
is replaced by F of A.
replace d by a? If in the denominator it comes out to be 0, then what it is to be done or identified as? It is case failure.
Case failure.
And in case of case failure, what is to be done?
Multiply by x and
Multiply by
differentiate the
X and
denominator.
differentiate
Yeah,
denominator.
multiply by x and differentiate the denominator, and in that case it will be written as f dash of d. If your term contains cos 3x as RHS, how it will be simplified?
E to the power x plus e to the power minus x upon 3.
Cos 3x.
नो सर, डी स्क्वायर को माइनस ए स्क्वायर पुट करेंगे.
बेटा cos 3x is compared with what?
केस 2.
Case 2. It is simply case 2. It can be compared with cos ax. Replace a d square by minus
Minus
a
a
minus a
square.
square.
So what will be the value for d square here? What
minus
will be
9.
the
-9.
minus 9? Clear.
9.
What it will be when it is cos hx?
E raised to the power x plus e raised to the power minus x by 2.
So then which case is applicable after writing this?
First case.
Case first.
Yes, Gauri.
Yes,
Cos
sir.
hx is written as e to the power x plus e to the power minus x upon 2. So now it is applicable. Now it is converted to case number 1. E to the power x by 2 plus e to the power minus x by 2. And here then you replace a d by 1. And here you replace a d by minus 1. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
If RHS contains 5, then it is which case? If RHS
So first
contains
case.
only 5, then which case it is?
Yes, sir. First case.
First case.
First
What
case
you
only.
have to do in case 1? How it is
We'll
converted?
write e to the power 0x.
Yes, 5 can be written as 5 into e to the power 0x. Then it is
0x.
converted to case 1 and replace a d by 0.
0.
Clear? What is this case when you have RHS as x to the power 2?
Case 3.
Case 3. What is to be done in case 3? Convert the denominator as 1 plus phi of d and then raise this to the numerator with power as minus 1 and use the binomial expansion. When you have e to the power x into sine 2x, which case is this?
Fourth case.
So case number 4. One of the term in the product is e to the power x and other will be sin ax or cos ax or x to the power m. What it is when it is e to the power 2x into e to the power 3x? Which case is applicable?
First case.
Why first case?
E to the power 2x plus 3x.
Powers.
Yes,
Powers.
this will be converted to powers will be added. E to the power 2x into e to the power 3x will be e to the power 5x. So automatically it is converted to case number 1. What
Sir.
when it is x into cos root 3x?
Case 5.
Case 5.
Case
5.
5.
5.
what does case 5 says? X is
X is
linear
linear.
and it is multiplied by sin ax or cos ax. आई बात समझ में?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
If it is x square into sine 3x, then which case is this?
Case
Case
6.
6.
Case number 6. Case number 6 says that x to the power m multiplied by sine or cosine, but m should be 2, 3, 4 and so on. So x square, x cube onwards, it will be identified as case number 6. Is this clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Any
sir.
confusion? I
No
hope
question
everybody
then.
is able to identify various RHS and which case is applicable.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Clear? Yeah. Any doubt? Somebody was saying anything?
Yes, sir.
Ah.
Sam.
Yes.
सर वो जब आपने बोला था कि आरएचएस में जब 5 रहेगा ओनली 5 कांस्टेंट
हाँ
तो e to the power 0x लेना पड़ेगा करके
हाँ
सर उसको अपन एलएचएस में शिफ्ट करके सिर्फ सीएफ निकालना पड़ेगा ना तब
yes.
वैसे नहीं कर सकते
But LHS में whatever you are collecting the terms उनमें से कॉमन क्या निकलता है? Y कॉमन निकलता है. ये 5
Yes,
में
sir.
से आप उसको LHS में लेके जाओगे तो Y कहाँ से कॉमन निकलेगा?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? Whatever examples we have done in the LHS, we are given the differential coefficient d2y by dx square plus 3dy by dx plus 5y is equal to certain term. So in the LHS we collect the terms which contains y as the dependent variable. If RHS of the differential equation contains 5 and you are saying that we will transfer it to the LHS and then RHS is 0, we calculate only complementary function, but transferring that to LHS will not serve the purpose because it is not associated with y. So
Yes, sir.
ultimately you have to keep it in the RHS only and try to apply the case, any of the case applicable to particular integral. I hope you understood
Yes, sir.
why it will not be only CF, but rather we will have to calculate particular integral by applying case number 1 because that term does not contain y. If in the LHS all the terms are associated with y, then only we take it as common, convert it into f of d and auxiliary equation, and y
Yes.
is taken as outside because y is equal to CF plus PI is the solution. Clear?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So 5 is written as 5 into 1 and 1 is expressed as e to the power 0x.
X.
That is
Yes.
how we have to simplify. Right? Clear.
Yes, sir.
The last case what we are going to discuss is general method of finding out PI. Up till now we have discussed various methods to find out particular integral, wherein it was e to the power ax, constant, hyperbolic, sin ax, cos ax, x to the power m which is polynomial, product in the form. But if the given RHS appears in the form other than all this यानी log अगर आएगा, sec आएगा, tan आएगा, cot आएगा, cosec आएगा, जिनके लिए कोई भी पहले के केसेस अप्लीकेबल नहीं है, वो किस पर से सॉल्व किए जाएंगे? बाय जनरल मेथड. So this general method is applicable to any kind of RHS present. Whatever cases we have done prior to this, if you don't remember them, still you can find out the answer of them with the help of general method for finding out the particular integral. So if you wish to, you can try, take up any of the prior example, apply the general method, you will get the same answer. But we do not usually indulge into that. As per the standard RHS of the differential equation, whatever we know the cases of PI, we try to apply them. Whenever the RHS is not solvable by any of the earlier discussed methods, we go for general method of finding out PI. So in general method of finding out particular integral, we write that this method is used for the problems in which q of x is in the form sec ax, cosec ax, tan ax, or any of the complicated terms. For this, f of d must be in the form of linear factors. In applying this particular method, the foremost condition is your denominator, that is polynomial in d, should be factorized in the linear form. There should not be a case of complex roots. Only real roots can be factorized in the linear terms, right? So therefore we have to take care in that sense. F of d is equal to d minus m1. These are the various roots which can be converted into linear factors. See, m is equal to 1 is a root, means m minus 1 is a factor. M is equal to minus 1 is a root, means m plus 1 is a factor. So we have the denominator into the factors form, where f of d is a polynomial of degree n in capital D. So before the step of auxiliary equation, what we are writing d in the form of m, we have to factorize f of d into the linear factors form. Whenever the equation is factorizable, many of the times it is seen that the roots are real and equal or real and unequal. Whenever the equation is not factorizable, we have to go into the formula method. So 1 upon f of d to be operated on q of x, this f of d can be factorized into the linear factors d minus m1, d minus m2 in the product form to be operated on q of x. Then each term is evaluated. Term by term evaluation. I told you the meaning of 1 upon d is usually the integration with respect to x, but यहाँ पर d नहीं है, सिर्फ d के साथ क्या जुड़ा हुआ है? d minus m. तो वो m को एडजस्ट यहाँ पर अपन करेंगे. टू cancel e to the power mx, I introduce the term e to the power minus mx inside the integral. multiply this q of x by that and integrate. 1 upon d का मतलब क्या है? Integration. So simplification of such kind of term, 1 upon d minus m q of x is e to the power mx, यहाँ पर माइनस के साथ जो भी कोएफिशिएंट होगा वो इंटीग्रल q of x into cancellation or opposite term for this whole multiplied by dx. That is how the general term says. If you have the product of the linear factors, we have 1 upon this. First you operate the innermost 1 upon d minus m1, इसको ऑपरेट करेंगे and then again you operate this. That is how the process of calculation of case number last, that is general method, is.